With a little shoulder shake right there, Mark. He knows the scouting report on him to let him shoot the three. He's 2 for 4.
On a night the Bucks hit 23s, Giannis Antetokounmpo channeling his best Steph Curry on one of his efforts in a blowout Milwaukee Bucks win. Boston, the last unbeaten team in the playoffs, is now blemished, and the series is tied at 1 apiece. Welcome into our NBA TV studio. That's Frank Vogel right over there. The Czar, Mike Fratello. I'm Matt Weiner. Good to have you with us. We talked pregame about how the Bucks could do a lot better in this game by just shooting the ball better, and that certainly was the case tonight.
Definitely, and they got cleaner looks. You know, they recognized what Boston was doing, in particular on Giannis, by flooding the paint, making sure that he was seeing multiple bodies every time he tried to get to the rim. And they sprayed it out to the three-point line, and, you know, this is where they've been lethal all year. When they can get hot from the three-point line, they have a willingness to go and take 47 threes like you saw tonight, and when they get hot shooting that volume, they'll blow the doors off a team like you saw tonight.
You know, Giannis Antetokounmpo, a little bit of a rough game one. Tonight, 29-10, just 4 assists. He was encountering some of the same traffic he saw in game one, but the results were a lot better tonight.
Well, inside out, outside in, there is a connection between the two philosophies, how you want to play this thing. And I think listening to what Frank just said, aren't we talking a little bit about the Houston Rockets in essence on nights that they're making threes?
Absolutely.
They're very, very tough to beat. Definitely. On nights when Milwaukee's making threes, they're very tough to beat. In game one, they didn't make threes. It made it a little bit easier on Boston's defense.
They hit a postseason franchise record 20 threes tonight, third highest total of this season in this new three-happy Mike Budenholzer offense. Take a look at how it played out tonight. The Boston Celtics with a 1-0 lead, looking for a 2-game sweep in Wisconsin. Kyrie Irving was brilliant in game one. Giannis Antetokounmpo, new challenge for him against that Boston defense. And Giannis, as I mentioned, again, seeing a lot of traffic early on. The wall in front of him, turned it over there. First couple of threes did not drop. First was an air ball. Second just nicked the rim. Gets blocked there, and Boston is up by 7 early on.
And notice most of the time Horford's around Antetokounmpo. That didn't happen when this game opened up. Horford wasn't on him as many times, and it was other people he was attacking.
Definitely. You know, there were some cross matches, and you know, there's some segments where Baines is in there. He got off a little bit during that stretch. The third quarter is where he really broke the game open.
You know, the other storyline tonight for the Bucks, the production of Chris Middleton, who hit 7 of those 23s I mentioned for 28 points on the night.
Well, what a difference in the starting backcourts. Middleton, Bledsoe, 49 points combined. They shoot 17 for 30. Brown and Irving shoot 9 of 30 and combined for just 25 points.
Giannis all the way around the backboard for the reverse layup, and that's part of a 10-0 Bucks run to put them up by 6. Kyrie Irving, miserable shooting night. 4 of 18 for Irving, but that one falls for him. And then Jaylen Brown to Horford for 3. Horford with 15 and 8 on the night. Irving just 9 points. Eric Bledsoe to Middleton, another 3 for him. And wide open look.
Again, playing inside out, creating open threes.
59-55 at the half. Brown drives. Who needs to see the basket to make the basket?
Incredible finish. He's just showing his athleticism and attacking the basket.
He had 16. Good start to the series for Brown offensively. Off the turnover here, Eric Bledsoe to Middleton, and guess what? It's another corner 3. Career high 7 threes on the night. Milwaukee up by 10, and then they go on this massive 28-2 run at the end of the third and the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Well, remember, it was a relatively close game midway through the third quarter. And all of a sudden, it went up to 10. They called timeout. They came out of the timeout. It went up to like 15, 17, another timeout, and then it was goodbye after that.
Yeah, it was 72-71 when this run started.
Right, and the difference between game one and this stretch right here is Boston went in on offensive drought.
Right.
And when you're not taking the ball out of the basket each time, you're getting live rebounds or playing off of turnovers, the offense just gets easier. And, you know, game one, they were pulling it out of the net every time down the floor.
Eric Bledsoe finishes it off there. He had 21. Milwaukee finishes off the game with a 21-point win, so they have yet to lose 2 straight at home on the entire season. Also +9 on the boards tonight as the Celtics lose their first game of the postseason. Let's get you to Milwaukee. Brad Stevens at the microphone.
Paul Flannery, SB Nation. Brad, where did this get away from you guys in the third quarter? How did it get away from you?
Well, I thought they dominated a lot of the first half, and we were lucky to be down 4. I thought that they owned their space on both ends of the court better than we did, and I thought that our reaction to that was to settle on offense, and it led to some runouts, and then it just steamrolled on us. But they were great tonight. They deserved to win. And we need to look at what we can do better. But, we knew that they were going to be really good tonight. We talked about matching their urgency and beating their urgency, but we didn't do that. Even in the first half, you could see, we were lucky to be where we were, I thought.
Kyrie obviously seemed to have some trouble tonight. I know he's not feeling 100%, but were you surprised, I guess, with what you saw out of him energy-wise and just kind of the way he played tonight?
I have to go back and look at it all. I'm more focused on our team as a whole, and I just didn't think we as a team were very good. But again, I want to go back and just credit them. I thought they played great, and they played tough, physical, got into us up and down the court, played on top of us. No different than what they've been doing all year. But as Bud said, the last couple of days they just wanted to do it harder and better, and they did.
Brad, Rob, Boston Sports Journal. Brad, Chris Middleton, obviously huge game for him behind the arc. He's been really good against you guys for the series. How tough is it, especially his pull-up ability, just to defend that?
We have to do it a lot better than we did it. It's tough. He's really good. He's an all-star. He's one of the 12 best players in the East this year, and has had a good year, and he started that in the playoffs last year against us, I thought. But we have to do a better job on him. We did not do a good enough job on him all the way down the line, and he still might make it, but we have to do, he got too many looks where it was too open.
Brett, John Corrales, MassLive.com. The three-point defense in general, it didn't seem as connected as it was in Game 1. There were a lot of undisciplined closeouts and flying out at shooters. What led to that?
Good question, John. Good observation too. We weren't very good on either end, but I do think that our offensive settling and some of the shots that we forced probably steamrolled on us in a lot of ways. And so hopefully we can be better at getting better shots, getting able to set our defense so we're not scrambling the whole time, and then just doing a better job of really flying around and being into airspace. I thought there were moments where we did it really well, and there were moments where we didn't. And some guys, I go back, I think Morris has played 2 great games. That's a good example of a guy that I think's really been doing it pretty consistently, and I could go through the tape and pick out 10 good ones of each guy, and probably some that we need to get better with.
Eric named The Athletic. Brad, that's the most the Bucks have switched in a game for pretty much the entire season. Did you feel like they were connected and able to do it? Just because a lot of times when teams aren't able to.
Yeah, they've got the guys that can do that. They did it last year a lot, so that's an easy thing for them to adjust to, and I thought they did a really good job of it. Basically Giannis and smaller were doing that. They even switched Mirotic a little bit, switched Ilyasova a little bit, but and kept Lopez as a protector, and that's where they've been great all year. They have a lot of versatility. They have a lot of defensive versatility, and everybody knew they weren't going to be. Game 1 was not going to repeat itself, and so they did a good job of, again, owning the space on both ends of the court. They put us where they wanted to when they were on defense, and when they were on offense, they took us where they wanted to.
Tom with Wisconsin State Journal, you frustrated Giannis a lot Sunday. What did you do differently against your defense today? anything?
Went downhill. That's what he does. I mean, he hits a couple of threes again. What is he? 5 for 8 or 9 on the series, I think, shooting threes. But but at the end of the day, what he does is he goes downhill, and he got to the foul line, made a couple of those that he missed the other day. I said it this morning. If we could guard him the exact same way for 7 straight games, and he's not going to go 7 for 21 very often. He's an MVP, right? So ultimately, guys like that are going to score some, but we got to do a better job on everybody else.